Hello and welcome back to the Calorie Deficit University podcast. My name is Alexis. I am the show's host, and today we are going to be talking about protein and specifically debunking some dangerous myths about it. It's a hot topic on the internet of how much protein do you eat? Are you eating too much? You're going to hurt your kidneys, and we're going to go through all of it and just kind of have a hub for good information about protein. And I will do this with every single macro and micronutrient group over the next few months of the podcast, okay? So if there's a specific one you want me to talk about, happy to do it. Go ahead and reply and message me. I will get to it. So you know how the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, okay? I'm going to be corny. You know me. I like a goof and a gaff, okay? Protein is the powerhouse of the nutrients. Yeah, I said it. It was corny. It's chuggy. It's okay. You can hate on me. I'm becoming older. What am I? A zillennial? It's who we are. I'm embracing myself, okay? To answer any hate about protein from the rip, I'm going to tell you exactly what protein does for you on the daily, okay? At the beginning of the episode, I'm just jumping right in because why wait? Just why wait, okay? It supports collagen production. It helps keep you fuller for longer, helps build strong bones and muscles, prevents injuries, supports cognitive function, your immune system, healthy hormones, helps repair and heal tissue, supports healthy skin, hair, and nails, helps with mood regulation, mental health, helps with nutrient absorption, transportation, and storage. It helps with a healthy metabolism. Like, I could go on and on and on. I think everyone wants those things, yet nobody lives a life that aligns themselves in a way that would get them those things. Ooh, heater. So how much protein should you actually be eating for your goals? This is wildly debated, and truthfully, if you want a specific answer for you, you should consult a coach, okay? I know that's kind of a cop-out answer, but it looks different for different people in different parts of their life with the different goals that they have. So for muscle building, you should eat more than 1 gram per pound of your current body weight. So if you're starting out, again, in nuance, there is nuance. If you're starting out from a fairly lean place, like you don't have excess body fat, you should eat more than your body weight per gram per pound in protein so that you can actually put on mass and build that lean muscle tissue, because it's not going to come from nothing. Number 2, for weight loss, you should aim to at least eat 0.8 grams per pound of your goal weight at like the bare minimum, but more can usually be better, especially for people who struggle with satiation or who don't have a lot of lean muscle mass to begin with. We want to make sure we're supporting your bones, we're supporting the lean muscle mass that you have. For maintenance eating, around 1 gram per pound of body weight to maintain your current muscle mass is vital. Yes, if you do not sufficiently supplement your life with adequate protein, you will lose the muscle mass that you have built and gain over time, okay? Again, where nuance does apply is with body fat percentage, body composition overall. If you weigh, for example, 300 pounds, you are most likely not going to be eating that much protein because that would be very difficult to do so. It would put a lot of stress on your body. It would be very expensive, but you are not all muscle. You are probably, if you're 300 pounds, largely fat. It's not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. It just doesn't mean that you need that amount of protein input, because it wouldn't be supporting your muscle mass. It would be storing as fat if eaten in an excess of calories, okay? So the more muscle you have, the more protein required. Muscle is not built from nothing, okay? The more muscle, more protein. If you want more muscles, more protein. If you want to keep your muscles, more protein. Can you overeat protein? Yes and no. Don't you love nuance? Isn't it so fun, so cozy, so flavorful, and helps you to see through the bullshit on the internet of when people are like, this is a definitive this way or the other way? Makes you weary. Okay? I would be impressed if you could overeat protein. Okay? I would be like, where's that job? Can I have that job that is funding me an unlimited amount of protein, because protein is expensive? Also, can I have your appetite? Because if I eat more than 200 grams of protein in a day, I want to barf. Okay? I would be like giving you the Nobel Peace Prize award for fitness if you could hurt yourself eating protein. Okay? There is a dangerous myth that protein is bad for your kidneys, and that just isn't true. Regular, moderate protein consumption is perfectly fine for your kidneys. Here's the nuance. If you are a healthy individual, where we can see problems is if there is already a metabolic issue going on. So if you're a metabolically unhealthy person and you start to eat a high protein diet, when you already have, like, for example, a very high body fat percentage, you already have stress on your organs. So that wouldn't be a good thing to start off the rib. We're putting additional stress on the body and kidneys when we eat high protein when you're metabolically unhealthy. And so, yeah, you can have issues with that. But the issue was not the protein. The issue was you were metabolically unhealthy to begin with. Okay? If your consumption is not moderated or regulated. Another example is like if you're predisposed to kidney issues, whether that be genetic or like an illness, then high protein consumption could be problematic for you and you should consult your physician. Okay? So when we see somebody have, like, there's this girl on TikTok who, she was already kind of a lean person, and she started eating very high protein. Okay, I think she weighed like 130 pounds and she was trying to eat 200 plus grams of protein a day just out of nowhere. She didn't even have like a saturation period or kind of like a build up period. Just started pounding the pavement on the protein. What she did not let people know is that she already had a kidney problem from medication misuse prior. And so, yeah, she damaged her kidneys because her kidneys were already weak, and then she put them through stress, and it was bad. Logical, makes a big sense. Okay, debunking red meat or overall meat consumption in general. I hear it all the time. People are like, red meat is bad for you. Eating too much meat is bad for you. Okay, are we going to have the same judgment with other foods too? Are we going to judge Cheetos, Oreos, Pringles? Are we going to judge harsh too on those? Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. When we talk about meat consumption, context and nuance is paramount. So what is actually bad for you about meat specifically, or what could be a potential threat or negative impact on your health? Well, hate to be that girl. Consuming meat is really bad for the environment. I'm just going to say, okay, don't be mad at me, but consuming meat is bad for the environment, okay? I'm not saying to change your life in that way. I just want you to be a informed consumer that the most impact you could have on your health negatively by consuming meat is contributing to climate change. I'm just going to say, sorry. It's an evidence-based show, okay? It's a science-based show. Gotta put it out there. Gotta make sure you know that yes, it is a large contributor to the climate crisis at hand. So, being moderate about your meat consumption, making sure your meat consumption is versatile, maybe local, different things like that. If you want to counter your contribution to climate change, you can do so how you feel, morally or not. Okay? All right. Glad we had that chat. Okay. Number 2. There's a huge difference between lean meat and high fat meat, and that goes for all meat, not just red meat. You have to monitor your fat consumption and make sure that you're getting good, healthy fats and not over consuming fat from any type of meat, okay? That fat is not as good for you, and it will contribute to heart disease and high cholesterol, okay? Number 3 is ultra processed meats are bad for you. Yeah, they are carcinogenic. They cause cancer. So things like deli meat, sausages, bacon, you really want to reduce your consumption of those things. My personal opinion would be to as little as possible. And you want to try and focus on things like nitrate-free meat if you're going to eat those things. It's just to avoid cancer risk, to avoid colon cancer. It's a really, really big problem. I don't think that people are aware of it, just like alcohol is a carcinogen, a cancer-causing agent, okay? If you want to live a long, healthy, happy, cancer-free, cancer reduction life, lifting weights, okay, reducing your ultra-processed meat consumption are going to be paramount, okay? Those are our 2 biggest resistances against getting cancer from our environment, from our food, long term. Number 4 is that yes, if you eat too much high fat meat, you can increase your LDL, cholesterol levels, and heart disease if you eat, like I said, the fattier cuts. So a way to avoid that is to eat lean. That's it. Lean turkey breast, chicken breast, lean ground beef, and focusing on that consumption. So moderate consumption mixed with a balanced diet of also healthy cooking methods. So not cooking your meat on high heat, not grilling or smoking your meat on high heats, using high smoke point oils so you're not getting as carcinogenic effect is paramount, okay? And avoiding ultra processed meats altogether. Why is red meat good for you? Okay, we heard a little bit about the little warning label, right? Okay, yapidly do. I know that, Alexis, but why is red meat good for me? And why are you such an advocate that I should regularly consume it? It is actually, okay, red meat, just meat in general, is essential for muscle growth and overall body maintenance, especially because of the amino acid consumption, okay? It is not to be confused with powdered amino acids. Don't even bring that up. That's not what I'm talking about, okay? You need the fatty acid branch chains that are in the meat. We don't make those. You need them to have a healthy body, okay? Red meat is rich in vitamins and minerals. For example, like B12, which is only found in animal products, iron, zinc, selenium, niacin, riboflavin, creatine, antioxidants, all of it, okay? All of it is important and only found specifically like B12, and not creatine is found in other things, but a predominant consumption of where you get your creatine from is from meat. So it's very hard if you don't consume meat to be a metabolically healthy, strong, muscle-dense individual. So satiety also, and long-term weight management, brain health, muscle maintenance, bone health, all of those things are predominantly supported by red meat consumption. Is what it is. It's just harder to be as strong, as healthy, have as much lean muscle mass if you're only consuming plant-based protein sources, okay? So what is the best protein out there to eat? So there are complete and incomplete sources of protein. Why does it matter? Complete protein sources contain all 9 essential amino acids that the human body does not produce on its own. And complete proteins are also much easier for the body to absorb and use for things like tissue and muscle repair. So the best options would be lean beef, like I said, chicken breasts, even lamb. You've got fish, shrimp, eggs, egg whites, cottage cheese, yogurt. Cottage cheese and yogurt are slower digesting. They're probiotic filled, and they have casein protein, which is slower digesting, helps with satiation. It makes you feel fuller for longer. That's what satiation means. And so those are really, really important to keep as a part of a healthy diet for even your gut as well. Milk products like whey protein, protein shakes are also really great sources of quick digestible, easily digestible protein as well. What are incomplete protein sources? Lentils, nuts, beans, quinoa, chickpeas, tempeh, tofu. I never say this right. Is it seitan? Yeah, seitan. I think that's right. All of those, while they're good protein sources, you should and can eat those. And a lot of them have good fiber as well and lots of other micronutrients and should be a part of your daily consumption. They are not complete protein sources. So they're lacking all 9 essential amino acids, and so you will be lacking if your diet is only consuming those things. Okay, so there is saturation requirements when it comes to protein consumption. You have to eat protein regularly and consistently to see benefit from it long term. You aren't going to have the same positive benefits if you only eat high protein a few days a week, then you don't on the weekends, or you take long periods of time away from eating a high protein diet. You have to have protein incorporated into your diet every single day to see the benefits from it. That's the same thing with supplementation and your medication. If you only ever do it a few times, you're never going to see the benefits of it. It's like dumb. You shouldn't even take it to begin with. A special shout out, I will say, is about creatine. So creatine is naturally occurring in certain foods, and it plays a crucial role in energy production in the body. It improves your strength, power, it helps with ATP regulation, it helps with brain health, muscle recovery, bone health, metabolic health, aging. It's the same thing as protein though. If you don't take it regularly, it will not work. And do not be afraid of people being like, oh, this caused me to retain water weight and gain this and that. Babes, if you're concerned about a 1 week period of gaining a little bit of water weight from a life-changing and life-altering, improving supplement that is the most evidence-based supplement that we have on the market for muscle health, bone health, brain health, cognitive function, you've got bigger issues and you need to figure out your shit with the scale. Just to be really blunt and honest, if you're not willing to sit through a week of loading that supplement and gaining 1 pound of water weight, yo, that's a red flag. Just gotta say it. Just had to put that out there. The final thing that I want to know about protein overall, hopefully I have convinced you and been able to appropriately, calmly, really plainly articulate that the risk and benefit reward ratio that you should have moderate, regular consumption of protein in your life, in your diet, and that the risk is only if you consume irresponsibly, okay? In a very plain way. Again, I'm trying to debunk, trying to make you have no fear about the food that you're consuming, because that's horrible to be constantly afraid of everything you're consuming all the time. That's the worst feeling ever. And also gives you clarity though and insight when you see people like the carnivore people who are dousing their bodies in butter and all of these crazy animal byproducts, and how dangerous that is, and how they will have high cholesterol. And while they maybe are moderating their caloric consumption so they don't have excessive body fat, their organs are going to pay for that, okay? Our bodies do not do well with extreme amounts of fat consumption. It deposits literally in your heart and your liver. Just is what it is, okay? The final thing to really drive home on this is that protein is not sufficient in its satiation without fiber. your health, your life, your mood, your energy, your gut health, your wellness overall will not be sufficient and satisfactory if you eat a low fiber diet. Fiber is one of the most underrated aspects of your nutrition management throughout your life, especially in America. And if you are not paying attention to your fiber as well as your protein intake, you might as well just actually throw out the baby with the bathwater. And that, I know, I'm being like facetious. I'm being haha funny. No. It's still beneficial to improve your nutrition one step at a time, doing protein first and then fiber, yes. But next episode, and I don't know how it's going to line up, but another episode coming in the future will be predominantly about the impacts of fiber and how important it is to have a high fiber diet long term. If you want to be healthy, if you want to live a long time, you need fiber in your diet. So hopefully that episode will also be clarifying as well. I love this episode. That was good. That made me feel really good. I love talking about protein because I like encouraging people to be strong, to be healthy, to feel good about themselves and the choices that they're making with their meat consumption. Yay. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode. I really enjoyed teaching it for you guys. If you could go ahead and give me a 5-star review, that would be amazing. I would really, really, really appreciate that. And of course, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And if you're looking for coaching services, go ahead and click the link to apply, and I would be happy to consult with you on your health and wellness journey. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will catch you in next week's episode.